In this video, you will see how to edit your Modern Argonaut ID. To begin with, choose the way that you would like to look as an Argonaut and download the add-ons such as hair, beard or glasses. Save them into a folder along with a photo of yourself, preferably a passport-size photo, and download the Modern Argonauts ID.png that you'll fill in. There are a lot of apps that you can use to create your ID. This is one example using the free app called GIMP. Download the GIMP app from www.gimp.org. Open it from wherever you have it saved on your machine. Here is the empty window. First of all, we'll click on File and New. In the template box, click on the drop-down and choose A4. Click on OK. And that's created our first layer, as you can see on the right-hand side, Background. There is an eye next to it. When you click on the eye, the layer is hidden. Click on it again and it reappears. Now we will go to File and Save. It's untitled at the moment, so we'll call it something like My Modern Argonaut ID. Choose where you'd like to save it and click Save. In the top left, you can now see that it has the name of your file, so if anything happens on your computer, you know that you still have it. Now, let's bring in your photo. We'll go to File, Open as Layers. Navigate to where your photo is. In this case, we're using this cartoon. And click Open. And there, on the right-hand side, you'll see the photo layer and the background layer. We will more than likely need to cut out the face in your photo. So we'll click on the eye symbol next to the background layer in the Layers panel on the right to hide it. And now we can see that the photo layer has a white background that we need to get rid of. In the Layers panel on the right-hand side, right-click and ensure that you click Add Alpha Channel. If we look at the Tools panel up in the top left, you can use the Scissors Select tool or Free Select or Foreground Select or the Fuzzy Select tool to select the shape that you want to cut out. I've got this white layer to remove, so I'm going to use the Fuzzy Select tool. Click that and then click on the white background layer. And now we've got marching ants running around the image. Now we'll go to Edit and Cut, and it's removed the background. We still have the marching ants though, so let's go to Select and None. Now select the Move tool in the Tools panel, and just below here, make sure that it's ticked for Move the Active Layer. Now over on the right-hand side, let's unhide the background layer by clicking on the eye symbol. Good. The next thing to do is to bring in the ID, so we'll click on File, Open as Layers, navigate to the folder where you saved the files and choose Modern Argonauts ID.png. Not the PDF, make sure that it is the PNG. Click Open, and on the right-hand side you can see that it's created the ID layer above the previously selected layer. We want all of our images to be sandwiched between the ID PNG layer and the background layer. If you need to, you can change the layer order in the stack using the arrows at the bottom of the Layers panel. So now, with the photo layer selected, we can drag it into the middle of the photo box. Now we're ready to bring in some add-ons, that is the beards and glasses and so on. We have a number of them available already that you saved earlier. We'll go to File, Open as Layers, navigate to where your ID add-ons are, and let's choose, say, a blonde beard. Click Open on that, and it's been brought in, even though you can't see it. We can see the marquee, the dotted box, around the layer, but we can't see the image because it's hidden behind the PNG layer. That's fine. We'll drag the beard layer up onto the face in the main view, like so. If they're slightly too big or too small, we can change their size by going to the right-hand Layers panel, click right on the image and choose Scale Layer. And then you can manually change the size, click Scale and readjust. OK. Now let's add a hat. File, Open as Layers. Both of the hats that are available have layers in front and behind the head. So I'll show you how you can add those. Here we have a Petasos hat. Place above face layer and place below face layer. So left-click on the first item, Control-click on the second item, and Open. We can see them in the Layers panel on the right-hand side. First of all, we're going to click on the link box here for the first bit of hat and then the second bit of hat, so that when we move them, they stay together. Now we'll move the hat into position on the head. We need to move the Place Below Face layer below the face. So in the Layers panel, we go down to the arrows and we'll move the layer down until it's in the correct position. This is why we removed the background earlier, so that the hat layer in the background works nicely. Now you can print this out and write text onto it yourself, or you might prefer to type the text using the text tool. The text tool is the A here. Click on that. Make sure that the colour is black and then click under Name. Type your name. We can't see it. Can you think why that is? If we look at the right-hand Layers panel, we can see that the text layer is underneath the ID layer. So with the text layer selected, we click on the up arrow until it's above the ID layer. Let's do that again for your ancient Greek name. Add your school, your class, and your skills. Reselect the Move tool from the Tools panel. Then, selecting each layer in turn, you can move the text to line up with the ID. Save your document, and we're almost ready to print. Before we print, we'll go to File, Page Setup, and make sure that the orientation is set to Portrait and to A4. Click OK, and then we can go to File and Print. Make sure that you've got one copy and it's in colour, and that the Let App Change My Printing Preferences box is ticked. And then click Print. Job done. You have your official Modern Argonaut ID.